coach. And today we're going to be talking about the group interview life hack. I'm going to give you a really good life hack that we use, other businesses that use it, and it's very effective. Today we're going to share with you Jim Collins, and he said, those who build great companies understand that the ultimate throttle on growth for any great company is not markets or technology or competition or products. It is one thing above all others, the ability to get and keep enough of the right people. So my name's Karen, this is Trevor, and we are the Edmonton Business Coach, and we're gonna just walk you through and kind of share how we do things here at Inspired Method, all about interviews. The interview process takes an average of 22.9 days. That's coming from Glassdoor. I've seen their name everywhere. They're obviously a stat-based website.
So that's a place where employees can go and rate companies that they work for or have worked for.
Okay.
And that's kind of where they are. Yeah. That's their space.
Okay.
Yeah. So HR is a time-consuming and tedious task, and most small businesses don't realize how much time they're actually spending and wasting on the hiring process. So we've got a life hack here for you that's going to save you time and save you money, which means you can hire us.
Yeah, and we do a lot more than that. So
way more.
You get way more bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why is 168 the most important number in business?
168. Well, 168 is the number of hours we all have in a week. We don't have any more, we don't have any less. The richest person in the world still has the same amount of hours, but they're making a lot more money, and they're maximizing their time by having other people do a lot of work for them, or they found ways to hack the system so that they can maximize profits and minimize the amount of hours that they're spending doing the work.
Okay.
Make sense? So
Yep.
you have to do the same thing. You got to find little hacks and little ways to save time so you can do more high value things. And HR for a small company is a big waste of time. Like I said, you can waste up to 22.9 days, so that's almost a full month of working days on hiring one person. If you need two people, oh my gosh, then you just double that. So that is like a huge portion of your year wasted finding two people, right?
Yeah.
So
we all know about one-on-one interviews. How many of you out there have used that in hiring? I know we have in the past, and it is such a time suck. So if you do one-on-one interviews, why will your bigger competitors find better people?
Well, bigger competitors, they have they can interview more people faster, right? They can interview more people faster than you can, because they've got more than one person dealing with the HR things, and they're getting more interviews in place than you are. So they're going to beat you every single time. Here, plain and simple, right? So they can do it bigger, better, faster than you can, because you're only one person. If you're answering the phone, organizing the schedule for people to come in for an interview and all of that mess, they can just do it faster and more efficiently.
Yeah. Why is it easier to be firm on the start time with a group interview?
Well, when you have a group interview and you have a set start time, that's an easy way to weed out people who just don't fit, right? Because here's the one thing, take a look at this. If you are flexible with a start time when they come, and you just make it, you can come whenever around this time, or you set up the precedent where they can dictate the time, then starting time when they're actually working for you is up for negotiation as well, right? So you want to set the precedent like, no, we're starting the group interview at this time, this date, be there or don't, right? You can really set the precedent for how things are going to go in your organization.
Yeah, true. So why is being flexible arranging an interview time false advertising?
Oh, for the exact same reason, right? You set that precedent of them being able to dictate the time, when they can come in, when they can arrive, when they can leave, all that stuff. So then if you want to avoid all those headaches, then you need to be firm on that, and it weeds out all the people who are, who cannot hold down a job or in between jobs regularly, let's just put it that way, because they can't stick to a schedule. They let their life get in the way, and they don't, follow a disciplined path to what they're doing, and other employers have basically let them walk all over them, got sick and tired of it after 2.3 years and said, okay, enough's enough, you're never here on time, it's time for you to leave. So you weed those people out right at the front, and it just sets the precedent.
Yeah. So is it a good idea to review the ad at the beginning of the interview?
Yeah, that's what we do here. We review the ad that we have out on the hiring website, just so that they are aware that they can agree to, yes, this is the job that I applied for, this is the job that I'm here to talk about, and this is what I want to learn about, right? So that there's no question, right? When it comes down to your jobs, your duties, responsibilities after the hire, it's been like, this is the job you applied for, this is the job that is, and I don't want any, guff about, your role, your responsibilities, because this is what it is. It just makes it easy, it's upfront, and if they're in the wrong spot, then they can leave.
That's true.
Yeah.
How do you use the problem, vision, mission, and values in the interview?
Yeah, well, that point is really, we go over all of our values with every person in the group interview so that they understand what we're all about, right? So that's where you start building and creating culture. People who want to be there and line up with those values will want to stay, right? And the people that don't line up with those values, they know right from the get-go where we stand, and there's no argument down the road. They can't, say, well, I didn't know that was a value of yours, like, showing up on time, right? Not leaving because you got the sniffles, calling in sick, like any of that kind of stuff that we just can't have here, because we're trying to build the #1 business coaching agency in Canada, and the only way to do that, to be #1, is we have to have strict standards and values that people can get on board with or get off the bus.
Yeah. It's not like we're like mean people to work with.
No.
I mean, we always have that attitude of leaving things better than the way you found them, and like that's just even coming into work.
Yeah, for sure.
So why does it help to have polarizing values?
Quite simply, so you can weed out the ones that don't fit with your culture.
Yeah.
Very simply. If you're in the middle, if you're kind of mealy-mouthed and wishy-washy with your values, then there's no differentiating factor as to why somebody would want to align themselves with your company, right? You want people who are raving fans and true believers in what you're doing. You don't want someone who is just there to gather a paycheck. They're just collect their fee and go home. You want people who are excited about your vision, about your future, about how you are helping customers out there, and getting them on board. So that's the biggest thing, is getting the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then going in the right direction.
Good. So why is answering questions about the position in a group setting time efficient?
Well, because more than one person is going to have the same question, right? So you can address it to everybody at the same time. Some people might be afraid to ask a question, or they might not have thought of a question, but when you're able to answer the question that somebody has in a group interview setting, then everybody gets to hear the answer, the explanation for it, and it just saves time. Could you imagine interviewing 10 people in a row and they all ask the same question?
Oh, that's true. And then it also opens it up so people are a little bit more comfortable to ask questions too, right?
Yeah.
What is the one question you always ask in the group interview?
The magic question. The magic question is, okay, you writing this down? Why do you want to work here? Not, why do you want to be an Edmonton business coach? Why do you want to work here? Big difference, right? So if you are, right there, you'll be able to tell who is going to be fitting with the right culture of your team. You can listen to their answer, and if their answer is all about, oh, I want to build my resume, I see this as a stepping stone in my career, and it's all about me, immediately those people are off the list. Thank you, but no thank you. The people who are interested in our vision, in what we want to accomplish and how we want to help people, and they see themselves as fitting in to that framework, then that's a plus, right? And then afterwards we can bring them into a shadow day and move on from there. But you have another question for us?
One more.
Okay.
If you are interested in the person, when do you call them?
We call them within 15 minutes of them leaving.
Oh.
We call them right away. We get them in for a job shadow so we can give them a little bit of a test with the team, see how they react with other people. And then we give them a bit of a skills test to see where their skills are at, because there's nothing better than having someone here as a test before you say, yes, I'm going to hire you, because you could hire them and then regret that decision almost immediately. And then there's the whole having to fire them, file paperwork, and all that kind of stuff. So if you can get them in to do a job shadow day, check their attitude, see their skill level, and see if they're teachable, coachable, and able to work with your team, then you have the opportunity to perhaps hire them down the road. At any rate, you'll have somebody in your back pocket for when something on your team goes wrong, and you can just give them a call and say, hey, we have a spot that's opened up for you. Are you still interested in joining our crew? And then, boom, you've got more arrows in your quiver, as they say.
Wow, great information. That's actually a really good life hack for group interviews. I never actually knew about this before working with in the capacity we're working now. I can see how effective it is, because it doesn't change your day when they come and shadow, and then you really get to see what they're like on the job. That's actually most important. That makes sense. Thanks so much for joining us. If you like this video, which I sure hope you did because it makes total sense, give us a like and a comment, let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Edmonton Business Coach Inspired Method, here on YouTube. We'll see you next time. Bye.